Science!
All right, so on science this week, D-Man, I got 2 stories for the price of one. And for those of you who are just tuning into the show, I do want to remind you that this is our Halloween show. Dustin and myself have not went absolutely crazy, and this isn't like us now. We just decided to dress in costume because this is coming out on Halloween.
Why can't it be us now?
I mean, if you want to rock this every single day, I'm behind you 100%.
Dude, that's a badass cloak. Why wouldn't you
It's
want to
hot.
rock that every day?
It's hot.
You're hot, buddy.
Thanks. And the show's over. But yeah, so 2 different stories. And one of them I saw come across, and I thought it was an Onion article. And it's not. It's real. NASA has given an official constellation to Godzilla.
Oh!
And Godzilla, as everybody knows, I thought this was very Halloween appropriate too, because Godzilla, as everybody knows, is one of the most famous movie monsters, a Japanese cultural icon. Back in the 50s, he started out I believe the idea was they were testing nuclear weapons off the coast of Japan, and which woke the beast who was sleeping underneath the waves, and he came and terrorized Japan for a while, and then fought Tyrannosaurus Rex and Gamera and Mothra and all these other people.
I can't tell if he's a bad guy or a good guy.
He's both.
Oh.
He's both.
I'm not.
Like-
I don't want this gray area bullshit.
He's
Just
gray area.
draw some lines. Tell me what's good and what's bad.
But thanks to NASA, Godzilla has his own constellation. NASA figured, and this is what it's so great. Like, these are real scientists, real people doing real things, and then they take time and they're like, you know what? You know who needs a constellation? Godzilla needs a
They're
constellation.
real nerds too.
Yeah. Basically, Godzilla's weapon is his heat ray. You've seen it. You know, he's firing it right there, and it's kind of like this gamma radiation that he emits. So NASA drew that to parallels of gamma rays in the universe, the rays that are emitted from black holes and neutron stars. So the Godzilla constellation isn't made up of stars. It's an astronomical artwork formed by gamma rays and gamma ray clusters. NASA's Fermi Gamma Ray Space Telescope, launched in 2008, is marking its decade in service by establishing 21 gamma ray constellations. Similar to how stargazers made, constellations out of stars, these are just places where these gamma radiation, these gamma emissions are happening. There's a little bit of a better one where it's showing you in different galaxies where these different clusters are happening, and they kind of crudely drew out a Godzilla cluster, which I thought was really, really cool. And this isn't the only one, speaking of nerds that work at NASA, that are in these 21 different clusters. There's also now a Star Trek Enterprise constellation. There's a TARDIS for Doctor Who fans out there. And even no gamma ray constellation would be complete without the Incredible Hulk. And so the Incredible Hulk has a gamma ray constellation as well.
Weird. Even NASA knows that Star Wars sucks.
Oh, there's no gamma rays in Star Wars. Yo.
What? How is there no gamma rays in Star Wars?
Maybe there are. I don't know.
There are. You're just trying to make excuses for Star Wars. Stop excusing Star Wars, Jeff.
All right. But I thought that was really fun. Like I said, I saw that article come across, and I was like, that's not real. And then I started looking it up, and it's on NASA's website. It's just great. Like, so that you can look up into the night sky and see where Godzilla reigns supreme up
Thank
there.
God.
Just like he should.
Everything I was always hoping for.
Yeah. So my second part actually is, now we went all the way into space. Now we're going to go all the way to the bottom of the Black Sea. The oldest intact shipwreck has been found in the Black Sea. Marine archaeologists from the Black Sea Maritime Archaeology Project have discovered this vessel. It's an intact Greek ship dating back 2,400 years.
Dude, that's
and
crazy.
if you can see from this photo that I'm putting in here as well, I'm also going to sync a little bit of video in there of them finding this kind of stuff. It is almost fully intact, which is incredible. The ancient ship is over 75 feet in length, most likely a trading vessel, and it lies in over 1.2 miles of water deep in the Black Sea. Now, this is where science gets cool. Because it's that far down in the Black Sea, water is anoxic, or oxygen-free. So that can preserve organic material like wood for thousands and thousands of years. And that's what's really neat. So that means that this ship was from roughly around 400 BC. That's when Plato was alive.
Wow.
And it sat at the bottom of the Black Sea, along with dozens of other wrecks that they found from varying different time frames. And the group says the ship of this design has only ever previously been found in artwork, such as on the very famous Siren Vase. And it's called the Siren Vase is because it depicts from the Odyssey.
Yep.
It's what's his name there? Odysseus getting tied to the front of the ship as they're going by the sirens because they're singing their songs to try to lure the sailors in there, and he's tied to the front of the ship. And the way that ship looked, we've never found one in reality. So we thought maybe it was just an artistic interpretation of a ship. But now we know for a fact this is a real ship.
Do you think it could be the very ship from the artistic depiction?
Maybe.
Because we've never found another one like
Never
it.
found another one like it. The reason being is
And they're not
because
like mass producing these things where every ship looks alike, right?
they were, and that's the thing. Is the reason being is they were mass producing them, especially if they were trading vessels. If they perchance sunk, lots of them would sink in shallow water, so therefore cut to 2,400 years later, they're gone.
Yeah.
Or they never sank, and they just withered away, or were broken down for whatever, to
So the
build.
only way one would still be around
in
is from
this
being
condition.
this anoxic condition.
Yeah.
I wonder if once they start bringing pieces of the ship up, if it'll start breaking down because it hits oxygen.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest questions right now is how are they going to bring this up and preserve it? There's a lot of stuff they found down there, not only ships, but parts of town, lots of pottery, lots of different artifacts that obviously are museum quality. That
I mean, there's got to be a bunch of gold down there, right?
I hope.
I mean, I was just hearing about how billionaires fund these searches.
Yes.
They pay these guys to find these ships because they find tons of gold. I think one time they found like $14 billion in gold in one of the searches. It's insane.
Yes.
It's insane the amount of gold that and some of these guys, some of these divers find it and take off.
Right.
And there's actually a lot of lawsuits out there.
Yeah, because depending on where you find it, it's sometimes, it's the country of origins gold then. If you found it there,
weird.
So you're breaking international laws sometimes if you're stealing that kind of thing. Treasure hunting is very weird. There's some really cool History Channel shows on treasure hunting that really delves into that kind of stuff.
I'll just keep on watching National Treasure on repeat.
Yeah, there you go.
Assume that I know everything.
Black Sea Maritime Archaeological Project principal investigator Professor John Adams actually said a ship surviving intact from the classical world lying in over 1.2 miles of water is something I would have never believed possible. This will change our understanding of shipbuilding and seafaring in the ancient world. And that's pretty cool because that's this dude's job. And he's like, this shit we just found changes my job forever.
Wow.
That's crazy. And never in a million years would he have thought he would have found a specimen this intact and this preserved.
So he's probably the most stoked person about this.
Totally. And like he said, when we are able to excavate it to whatever degree, we're going to be able to really delve into the data and find out some stuff we never knew about the ancient world, the ancient trading. Because remember, the Black Sea, where that is like a hub of just, everything back in that time,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was crossing that to get from point A to point B or point B to point A. So, there was tons and tons of stuff happening that we don't even know about because unfortunately a lot of those records from that time period were lost in when the library burned down in Alexandria.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, we are just starting to uncover that stuff again by finding things like that.
Yeah, I bet when they find this stuff, they must be able to uncover a lot of history that we didn't know before.
It's so cool.
This is so cool.
Yeah. So
good find, Jeffrey.
So two different stories, but two really fun science topics this week.
Cool.